Bye. Have a great time.
ADR, this is King Black. I hope everybody's having a good day. I titled this video, have you ever seen a movie that made you feel like crap? I mean, I saw this movie the other day called The Breakup, starring Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. And in my particular life, I've had a lot of walls built up internally. Keeping people out, uh, being a little selfish, being manipulative. Fuck, can't even pronounce words today. But anyways, it's that dang back pain medication. Uh, so I was watching this movie and I was having these mini flashbacks to times in my life where basically, in the movie, Vince Vaughn's character, Gary, uh, doesn't seem to fully realize or appreciate Jennifer Aniston's character, Brooks, um, everything that she does for him. He's gonna do what he's gonna do, kind of like how I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and only what I want to do. And even assuming if the person's having a good time with me, assuming that they also wanted to do that particular thing, or like for one example, they were having this argument about Vince Vaughn never asking Jennifer Aniston uh, if she wanted to go to the ballet, and he was stating how much he hated the ballet. And she was just using that as a catalyst to point out that she just wants him to want to ask her to go to the ballet, knowing that she likes those kind of things, even though it's something that he doesn't want to do or doesn't enjoy. When you are being gratifying to yourself, when you are satisfying your need for gratification, when you're doing something that you want to do, you feel good. And at the moment, you don't necessarily care how the other person is feeling. And in this particular scene, it's kind of like what was going on. Like, he was expecting her to understand that he wouldn't ask her to do that, so he doesn't understand why she's mad that he doesn't ever ask her to go to the ballet, even though she points out that she has gone with him to things that she doesn't necessarily enjoy. But she does it for him, and out of love for him, she goes with him. And, I believe every person deep down, no matter how kind they are, in a sense, are selfish. Because nobody will love you better than yourself. If it came down to a life or death situation, the one who was really going to make sure that you do everything to stay alive was going to be you. Anyways, as this movie progresses, he Vince Vaughn remains oblivious to the things that are hurting Jennifer Aniston's feelings and her emotions and hurting their relationship, because he can't see beyond the wall that he had placed in his life. And it was pretty interesting if you've ever seen it. Pretty sure many of you have gone through or did some of the things in life that you look back when you watch these scenes and you're like, crap, am I an awful person? Because I have done this, and looking back in retrospect is life's greatest teacher. You think, dang, if I could go back in time and fix this, I would. Because I didn't realize how one-sided things work. It's always easy to drag somebody to the movies or whatever, and you know that they hate particular style of movie. If you like horror and they hate horror, but you're always dragging them to see the next scary movie. And then the one time that they ask you to go see some romance comedy or something, or some drama, and you're like, nope. In the moment, we place our gratification first. We don't stop to think, alright, they've already gone with us 5 times to the horror movies, so let me suck it up and do it for them. And afterwards, go out to eat and just move on. But it's hard to do that. It is. And sometimes you don't realize it until too late. Like towards the end of the movie, Vince Vaughn's friend tells him that that's just the way he is. Nobody's ever going to change it. That he's going to do what he wants to do, and he says that's bullcrap. But he starts pointing out all the things that they've done that in the end it was only because Vince Vaughn wanted to do it. And his friend says, the biggest problem was that you put up these walls around you so nobody can get close enough to hurt you. And this girl, she really liked you, and she thought that for her, you would be able to lower down your walls, and you just couldn't. She never stood a chance. And that's when he finally realized, thinking back on it, that he messed up and should have put more of an effort or placed more importance in the things that she thought were important, although maybe to him they weren't important. And the saddest part is when he finally tries to do the right thing, it's too late. Like her heart has hardened like a rock. And if you've ever gone through that experience, whether you or somebody else, whether you were the one who had your heart hardened or somebody else had their heart hardened towards you, you know the feeling. That there comes a point where whatever you felt just died like a plant in wintertime. And you look back and you're like, man, that was some dumb mistakes, but I was either immature, or I wasn't thinking right, or I was too focused on the wrong things. Sometimes we place our career, sometimes we place our playing games or watching movies above personal relationships, between our connections, between making memories. And I was watching this movie, and it was like looking into a mirror, looking into things that I've done. And was like, wow. To be honest, like after I watched that movie that day, and I cleaned the house, I did many things that you wouldn't believe, like compared to a normal day. I did 5 times more than what I would do normally. I'm not focused on other things. And it's funny how cinema can pull something that in general affects us all and reflects it towards us. And people who have the insight to watch these things and really analyze it, it's interesting to see how these things can apply to your life, or how your life experiences seem to come back out watching these movies. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's a good movie. But for a straight 15 minutes after that movie, I was just sitting there like, that movie made me feel like I was behaving like an ass, and that I am an ass person. I'm not perfect. I ain't Jesus. I ain't God. Nobody out there listening right now is Jesus or God. But what I'm saying is that sometimes you shouldn't have to wait until it's too late to try and fix whatever is broken. Because to you it might not be a problem, but to the other person it might be such a problem that eventually they just stop caring. And if you really cared and liked that person and loved that person, you don't want to kill that love before it has blossomed fully. ADR 86.